All right, tonight we're going to Port Said Governorate, which is in Egypt. We're going to May 16th. Literally, May 16th. That was what, a week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, very recently.
2 weeks ago. So I got all the information I could about this. It's really interesting because the killer, he's an influencer. But anyway, we're going to May 16th. A police report was filed. Someone, a concerned citizen, went to the police station saying that he just found a body in a suitcase thrown on the side of the road in the desert. This is in Cairo. May 16th, this was 2 weeks ago, a concerned citizen, a shocked citizen, goes to the local Cairo police station and he says, I was just out in Port Said and there is a suitcase thrown into the desert. And of course, I just had to know what was in it. And inside the suitcase was a folded up body.
We've done some bodies in suitcases cases before.
This woman was found in this suitcase. She was folded over. The girl was found, quote, without clothes. Now, this one that happened 2 weeks ago, May 16th, the body was found. The DNA that was pulled from the body from the forensic team not only could identify who she was, which we know now who she is, she was a sex worker, it also identified the person who she was last with.
Okay.
Once they had that, they went to this man's house, and this is who was at the house right here. Now, when they came into his house, he actually ran, but he was arrested. This house that he was living in was a rented house. It was an apartment, very upscale apartment. Mm-hmm. This guy that you're seeing right now is an influencer, a TikTok influencer specifically, with over 600,000 followers.
Wow.
Which is pretty good, I guess, on TikTok. I don't know, Tram, how many do you have?
It's a lot.
Like, how many do you guys have? Is that a lot? I'm guessing that's a lot. I don't know if he's making any money from it, but, Anyway, I'm going to show you his TikTok videos. Now, keep in mind, TikTok did take all his videos down, but someone did re-upload them. So we do have that at least. So this isn't his account because his is taken down, but this is some re-uploaded.
Desiree 6.
What?
How many followers do you have? 6.
So the TikTok handle for him was Hooked on Phonics. So this is Hooked on Phonics 1. Someone just re-uploaded the videos. But his original one, like I said, had 600,000. But here, this is who this guy is right here.
Here's 5 ways to call in sick to work like a professional. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well today. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I won't be able to make it into work today due to...
Okay, anyway, that was like
Here's
it.
5 ways to call in sick to work like a
he just posts videos like
sorry,
that. So this guy Hooked on Phonics, and here's another one.
Say, I don't get it. Don't say, I'm sorry. Say, I apologize. How do you say some of these common phrases?
What? I don't understand that fucking app, dude. It's like mediocrity at its best. Anyway, that's the guy who was just caught, 600,000 plus TikTok followers. And he is known as the New Cairo Slaughterer, and this is maybe a mistranslation from Google, but he's also known as the, quote, the Thug of the Gathering. That's what it gave me. Or the Assembly Killer.
Interesting.
That may be a mistranslation, but several sources that I translated from Arabic gave me that.
Okay.
But the English sources all said the New Cairo Slaughterer, which tells me that there's an old Cairo Slaughterer that I need to go find.
Yep.
Anyway,
That's exactly what that means.
So this was only 2 weeks ago that this guy was caught. When they went to his home, that's when they found the partial remains and souvenirs of 2 other women too. So now they have 3, and as of today, when I was finishing up my research, as of today, he is 6 deep. He has killed 6 women.
Whoa.
In the span of 5 months.
Wow. I mean, when we were covering this, didn't it come up yesterday? 3 was in the article. We're already up to 6.
Yeah.
So is he confessing to all of these?
He's confessed to 3, but this is the news that came out.
Okay.
This story isn't even featured in English websites yet. This story isn't featured in any credible English websites. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So the biggest source because when I did this, I thought it was fake. I was like, this may be a TikToker that is trying to just fake this shit. Because I couldn't find any legit sources. But then I found, RT.com, which is
Russian Times.
Yeah, it's a huge source.
Yep.
And they were covering this in depth. So anyway, so that's what we're talking about tonight. This guy has only been separated from his wife for 5 months. And as of now, we think he's killed 6 women. All of these women are women of the night, prostitutes, that he has either met at clubs or lured in through Facebook with the promise of drugs and money. Now, the thing that makes this case so unique, other than the TikTok, is this guy is extremely sadistic in how he kills these women. You see he's young. He's our age, or he's my age. He's 37.
Yeah.
A young guy. And we don't even know the females' names, the murder victims' names have not even been released. That's how breaking news this is. But the murder this is what he admitted to. He would bring these girls over. He would meet them at either a club or on Facebook. He would promise them drugs and money, which he did have. Because keep in mind, he's living in an extremely upscale apartment.
Was he married or anything?
He was married, but...
I thought the article said, yeah.
He was married, but for the last 5 months, he's been separated.
Oh, and he's been killing for 5 months.
He's been killing for 5 months, yeah. In fact...
Quite the separation.
Well, so in fact, the reason he's killing is because of the divorce. In fact, he says the following. He says... Let me see. He says he started killing after being betrayed by his wife before the divorce. And he wanted to, quote, take revenge on women who had multiple relationships. So that's why he started killing these prostitutes.
Oh, interesting question. Lauren said, I wonder if these women look like his wife.
Oh, that's so interesting. There's not even a photo of any of these women out there. Their names aren't even out there as of right now.
Though.
Yeah, but they may. And I will tell you, I think that is the reason he's doing it too. And let me see. He said he's killing for women who had multiple relationships, so that makes sense. He was renting an upscale apartment, and this guy's not only a TikTok influencer, he was also an international teacher with both an Egyptian and an American degree. So he's actually an American citizen that has moved to Egypt. He's originally from Egypt, but he came over here, got his citizenship. Now he holds dual citizenships in both America and Egypt, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He is a teacher, an international teacher. The school hasn't been named public yet, but, I'm sure it will be eventually. But he's an international teacher, I think like a language teacher perhaps. But he is a graduate of the American University in Cairo as well. Now, this is crazy because he not only admitted to killing these women and stuffing them in these suitcases, the bodies were found in several different areas, but all kind of in the desert area. They had the pyramids and stuff over there. So around that area, literally in Cairo, is where he would throw these bodies out.
Wow.
And he admitted to a few things here. So when the cops go to his house, they arrest him after he tries to run. They find signs that there's going to be more victims. The pathologist comes out there and he takes this woman out of this suitcase and notices that this guy must have been a sadist because this woman seems like she has, quote, signs of severe torture, end quote. And not only did he do this, but he had several cell phones in which he would film every one of the murders. So there is footage. That's like the first thing they noticed when they went to his apartment. They got the phones. There's multiple phones. And yeah, he's an influencer, but on the phones, there were videos of him torturing women.
Wow.
So what he would do is he would take these girls back to his upscale apartment. He would take narcotic drugs. He was addicted to ice. And we did a story in Thailand that it was basically the ice, remember Ice Metal Casket? That was the guy's name. So he was like the king of this stuff called ice, which is like crystal meth over here. Another word for it is shabu. So I'm guessing it's like crystal meth from what I'm seeing. So not only was he addicted to that, but he would bring the women over to his house. He would put a sleeping pill in one of their drinks, get them asleep, then tie them to a chair, and then force them to smoke this ice, this crystal meth stuff. Would force them to literally overdose on this while he was torturing them. He did that.
Jesus.
I know, right? And, I mean, you just saw the guy's video. Does he seem like...
No, but people are not what they seem, I suppose.
So he would sit these women in a chair, all 6 of them, and he would force them to smoke this stuff because they would be tied up while he's torturing them. And as the pathologist said, signs of severe torture. So we don't know what it was, but probably like cutting off stuff, I'd imagine. The reason he was making them smoke this ice is so they wouldn't scream, because you got to remember he was in an apartment, although it was upscale, people could still hear that screaming. And the reason we know that is because only 1 month prior, before he got caught, he actually had asked his property owner that he was renting this upscale apartment from. He asked the property owner to, quote, install soundproofing, because he was...
making a lot of noise.
Making a lot of noise. Yeah, exactly. So the women were definitely screaming, even though they were probably blitzed out of their mind with this ice stuff, because he was making them overdose on it. They would eventually die either from the torture or from the drugs. There was one that I saw that he hanged, like I guess on the back of the chair, he hanged up, so that maybe he was trying different things. But we do know he's admitted that he is a sexual sadist.
I wonder if it's still strange. I know he went through like a traumatic, quote unquote traumatic experience, right? With the separation with his wife.
Well,
but
the wife cheated on him.
Right. But it makes you wonder, like, what were his tendencies that he was displaying before this? You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be something.
Well, I don't know. Well, he's got a 10-year-old daughter. So he's a father. With the daughters with the same woman, his ex-wife. So he described himself as a sadist, and that he would only pick up, quote, sex workers because getting rid of them is easy, as no one asked about them, end quote, which is totally true. I mean, he's
but it's like he thinks he's an expert, but he hasn't been doing, it's not like it's like he thinks he was so good he wasn't going to get caught. Yeah, he is singing like a canary. Yeah.
Well, they got him red-handed. Also, because they went to his apartment and found all the evidence. But also, the way he was disposing of the bodies, yeah, you're probably right. They would not have... No one cares, right? Like Gary Ridgway killed like 30, Like no one asked about prostitutes if they go missing. That's just how it is. This guy just went through 6 before they knew, right? That's just how it is. So that is smart if he's judging his intellect on that. But discarding their remains in a suitcase is totally stupid, because anyone that sees a suitcase is going to wonder what is in it if they don't call authorities about it. No one just leaves that there, because there could be a freaking bars of gold in there for all you know, right?
True.
So most people, unless it's
an unhappy surprise.
Yeah, no shit. Unless it's just stinking really bad. Like, most people are going to be at least curious enough to want to know what's inside it. So that is stupid. Every killer that has done that has been caught. Yeah. Basically.
Plus, was it his own personal luggage? Did he go buy the luggage? Does he have a receipt? Is that...
I don't know. None of that has came out.
Well, he confessed anyway, so it almost doesn't...
Yeah. He's admitted, quote, "I used to torture them to death, then transport them by car and throw them on the desert road," end quote. He would, like I said, tie these girls up, beat them. Now, we don't know. The autopsy's not out. The pathologist, all he came out and said was severe torture. So we can only speculate. Yeah. But we do know that he said he would beat them. He would tie them up. He would force them to take this ice. And yeah, he's linked to 6 as of now. So I'm guessing some of them would die from the drug itself, because it's a pretty powerful drug. And if you're making a girl smoke it constantly, he's forcing her to do it. Anyway, another body was found Saturday, April 13th. a month before, but they didn't find any DNA evidence or anything like that. They actually identified this woman, and that's the only reason they could kind of backtrack and see who she was with, you know?
Yeah.
And let me see, anything else about this I could find? Yeah, so I don't think this is his real name. It's just translated, but he's labeled the Thug of the Gathering, which that doesn't sound right. The Thug of the Gathering.
Well, there's like maybe the Gathering is something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jacob said their regular customers will ask about them. I always do.
Oh my God, that is true.
From RT.com, the accused admitted during the investigations that he used to get to know the girls, take them to his residence, and take narcotic substances, after which he used to give them consciousness-altering drugs, then kill them and film those clips using his 2 phones.
So, I mean...
So he's got it on film.
Yeah, he's got it on film, and, you know, that's probably not going to be public, but it's crazy because, I mean... I don't know how much he was making. So he was a teacher, a very highly respected teacher for a
university,
acclaimed international university. I'm thinking it's the AUC, the American Cairo University. I'm thinking that's probably what it is because that's where he graduated from. So he was probably teaching there, but that wasn't his full-time gig. I saw his full-time gig was he was in trade and commerce. I couldn't tell what. Plus, I'm thinking, like, how much money is he making from TikTok? Or if he's making any at all. I know he's living in one of the highest net worth apartments in all of Egypt. A very high net worth section. And he was renting it, but still. Like, I know he's making a ton of money. But, and he wanted soundproofing and everything. Holy shit, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
actually,
honestly, that is all that's out there about that story as of now. It's only a couple weeks old, and there are no English papers covering it that are credible. Not any that are credible.
Don't send it to the Daily Mail because they'll put it in English and not give you any credit for it.
Yeah, but, you know... So I think how it works is the Daily Mail and stuff, obviously they know about this story, but these sites don't want to be the first one to do it. They want to wait till another credible source covers it, then they can cover it because, you know, hopefully this other source confirms some facts or something. But if not, then they're the fucking idiots. You know, I'm just taking their shit because that's how it works. The Daily Mail articles come out and then you start seeing all these other news things coming out and basically just rewriting what the Daily Mail says, you know.
Yep.
And that's how that shit works. Anyway, so kind of crazy, like smaller than I thought, man. I actually started doing another story today, kind of crazy, one that Jen had posted. Yeah, he should have bought a freaking house. I mean, he should, if he would have bought a house.
I love how we're like just trying to help out a serial killer. Like, man, you screwed up. You could have gotten away with it had you just.
I mean, dude, there are some serial killers. I'm telling you, man, like the smartest one we've ever covered was the Israel Keys. The only, but he was a different serial killer, right? He was killing to not get caught.
Yeah.
Like he was only killing for that reason. Remember, he did this thing where he like took a train like 5 states away, rented a car, like all the with the fake ID,
and then some crazy shit.
Then went to a random old couple's home, just completely random, where he had buried a murder kit just to kill them.
Yeah.
And then go back to Alaska. Like that, there's no way a cop or there's no way a police force could find you for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just no way. The only reason he got caught is because he killed that girl that was in Alaska. Remember, she worked at the coffee shop and he put her body in the garage. I don't know if you remember that. But
yes, I do remember that actually.
Samantha Koenig, I think was her name. Yeah, it's crazy. But, you know, or kill people with air bubbles. The only thing.
People have been caught, though, for that.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I mean, it's, you know, hard to be a serial killer these days.
I was honestly thinking about writing a book.
Oh, God.
eventually, because dude, like, all right, the book would be called something like How to Kill Your Husband, all right? And it will literally go through the ways to do it. Like, okay, you want to poison your husband. Well, here's all the serial killers or all the women that tried it, and this is why they got caught. This, and this. You know, so if you did it, you wouldn't want to do, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, you, like, let's say you want to, and like, it's not just your husband, it's anyone. Like, let's say you want to kill someone randomly, right? Like, don't kill someone close to you. Don't kill your wife if you're a husband, because the husband already did it.
But I thought the title of the book was How to Kill Your Husband. We've got some things to work out, clearly.
Yeah.
Well, it was good to see everyone.
Yeah,
we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, another day. And thanks for being here. It was fun as always. So we'll see you.
Kind of run this shit.